Today we're doing something a bit different. This is our holiday gift guide for scuba divers. So if you are a diver, this is your chance to build a perfect wish list. But honestly, this video is really for all the non-divers who wish to buy that perfect thing for this scuba diver in your life. Because let's face it, it's a really expensive hobby and we love it so much. So anything you can give us that just resembles diving, well, we'll love it for you. So in this video, I'll walk you through all this season's best gift guides, including stuff I personally own, love, and dive, gear that I've seen on all the boats that we've been around that people really love, and things that want just to end up in a closet or in a dive bag and be forgotten. We'll go through budget-friendly stocking stuffers all the way up to, okay, this is the biggest present of the year. I love you so much. Thank you. Well, let's dive in. Oh, before we get to the actual presents, a present idea. So right here at DIVEIN, we test a lot of dive gear. We can't use all of it. So this might be your chance to get a real Christmas present sent to you from us. So some of the gear that we're using. I'll tell you later in the video exactly how you can get your hands on some of this. Let's start with something that we all love as divers. Well, that is sharing our love for diving with everybody around this. And one of the ways we do that is by sharing photos and videos. So if that's something that you're looking for, or the diver in your life is looking for, a good way to start is by looking at some of the camera accessories. And a good starter of that one is actually to use one of the underwater housings that we have for phones. One of my favorites is the Oceanic Plus housing. All these products will have links in the description, so check that one out. So the underwater housing from Oceanic Plus has a built-in color correction, meaning that all the videos and all the photos coming out of this one, right on the phone actually, will be color corrected. This one only works for iPhone, so if you're looking for an Android option, this one works for both iPhone and Android. It has the red filter out here, or you can add lightings to it as well. But the DIVEIN has some cool features as well. You can utilize the whole touchscreen. Again, there's links both to our in-depth review if you want to read more about them, but also to where you can buy them. We also have the action camera option, so where the action cameras comes in, and right now my favorite cameras is actually coming out of Insta360, and it's these 360 cameras, meaning they have cameras on both sides filming all the way around. So what you do as a diver, you put them into one of these plastic underwater housings, you put a selfie stick at the end as well, and then you can use this one wherever you're filming. You're actually filming all the way around. They can edit quite fastly in an app, get really nice footage out of that one. Second part I want to cover is some of the safety aspects that we have as divers. Safety gear is a really must for us as divers. There is some of the things that we need, and often it's something that we don't buy at the beginning. So this might be the perfect gift. Also because often they are priced in really well in terms of most gift budgets anyway. So what I brought out here is a few different knife options. They come in different shapes, different sizes. Key here for me, that's my personal preference, is going as small as possible. The smaller the better, because then you can actually have it on your gear and then it's always there when you need it. Whereas the big knives that we used to see in the 80s movies attached to the legs, they just take up too much space, meaning you won't be using it. They also come out as line cutters as well. So a small knife in different shapes or a small line cutter is really useful. Another really nice thing to have is a DSMB, delayed surface marker buoy. What does that mean? Well, it's this small, this is a tube right now inflated, but rolled up. It doesn't take that much space. We bring it on most dives. We should at least, and that's why it's a really good gift as well. And we send that up before we go up, so boats can see that there's a diver down and then they'll run over us as we come out of the water. This one is from Cressy, but they come in an array of different sizes, shapes, colors, options. No matter your gift budget, you can find a DSMB for the diver in your life. Now we're moving into a lot of the gear that are priced in a bit differently, but dive computers is always a favorite among divers. We love them and we can't get enough, or that's the least. Most divers are actually using one main and one backup dive computer, because if one fails, we can actually keep diving or end the dive safely. So good options. One of the favorites I have from this year in terms of the budget category is the Cressy Raffaello. Again, link down in the description. It's budget friendly. It's simple, reliable, and really good for any diver starting out. So if you know that you want a dive computer, or the diver in your life don't have a dive computer, this is a really good place to start. If you are moving up in price category, you want to look at a bit more expensive, we also have shearwater dive computers out there. Shearwater is making some of the most popular dive computers, and no matter where you go, any dive boat, there will always be one diver with a shearwater dive computer. What I have right here is the Shearwater Peregrine. It's a really good mid-range dive computer, so it works for beginners, but also works up to almost up to any level of divers, not full technical dive computer. This one also comes as a transmitter option, so that's the Peregrine TX version, so you can also get the transmitter. And a really good gift option here if you know that the diver in your life has a dive computer but does not yet have the transmitter. Right now, Scuba have just released their new Scuba Swift GPS, meaning you get GPS data as well. They will love it for sure. Moving away from that and into the fun zone as well, I brought out one of the underwater scooters that we've been testing here at DIVEIN. I'll link the full review as well so you can see that one. If underwater scooters is a place where you think, I'm gonna get the best gift ever that my diver's gonna love, underwater scooters is the most fun I've ever had underwater. You know, racing around this with my kids, with my dive buddies, it's so much fun. We use these on dives, but I also use it in the pool. In any scenario I can get hold of, snorkeling, freediving, you know, name it, there's so much fun in these. This is the Lafitte P1 Light, meaning that it's a bit smaller than some of the other ones, but it's also priced quite well. So a good option for that. Another thing that we as divers can't really get enough of is masks. Well, of course, one mask is good, but often we actually also bring a spare mask. Goes in the pockets and we can use that or on the boat because we can't dive without the mask, that's just for sure. And having a mask that fits you really makes or breaks a dive. One of my favorites, and one of the ones I see on most dive boats is actually the Hollis M1 mask. It fits an array of different faces. Jewelry is another really good gift. I actually just got a small seahorse necklace from Big Blue by Roland St. John for my daughter. She's not a diver yet, but she's a total water lover, and it's just a really nice, subtle way of her showing her love for the ocean. There's other ocean-inspired jewelries as well that you can take a look at. Some of them are also made out of recycled plastic, so there's plenty of options for that, and definitely worth looking into. And then one of my personal favorite gift isn't actually gear at all, it's the experience. Diving is expensive, so helping a diver actually get in the water can be huge. We love it. So any gifts in terms of that could be a training session with an instructor. If you know there's something within diving that they're struggling with, talk to their local instructor and ask them if they can get a one-on-one session. That's a really big thing for divers. I think that most divers don't pay for it, but should. A specialty course could also be that night trucks, dry suit, photography, rescue, whatever you could think of that they would be in. Or simply telling them, next time we're on holiday somewhere with diving, I'll cover you one day of diving. You can also get them gift certificates if you know they're into liveaboard diving. We love diving and we want to do it as much as possible. All right, that was some of the ideas that I had for you in terms of gifts ideas. Of course, there are a bunch of other things. I'll drop a link down to the guideondiving.com where we cover that more in depth of all the things that we have that would be a good idea. You know, all the small stuff that you can put as stocking stuffers. We also have a full series of guides, both for dive computers, dive knives, and all of these things that we covered here, underwater cameras as well, that you can check out if you're like, this is the perfect gift, but I want to get the best. So we actually have this because we're testing all these gears, so we have a full range. That was all we wanted to cover, but we have the giveaway, so let's talk about that one. If you want to be part of this one, you have to do 3 simple things. First up, like this video and subscribe to the channel. Second up, in the comments below, tell me which of these gifts would be the perfect gift for you as a diver or for your diver. Tell me in the comments, share what you think about these gifts or any other idea for the perfect gift. Third, last but not least, subscribe to the newsletter because it's in the newsletter that will announce the winners. That's all I had for today. I hope you'll have a fantastic holiday season and I hope you get the gift that you love the most. Thanks for watching.